I normally only see my neighbor when I arrive home from walking my dogs, so I'm holding the dogs on leashes as I greet the old guy next door most times and have to tell the dogs to come along. One day I dropped the dogs off inside my place and headed out to bring the bins in after collection. See the neighbor and exchange greetings as per usual. As we finish I turn to the bin and say back quote, "Come on, let's go." Did the bin go in? I wanted to refill my cup with more water, so I just poured my already half-filled cup out on the table to make room for more water. I had a similar experience, but it was more like I reached out to grab my cup, but my hand had ulterior motives and just slapped the cup over. Hard like water went everywhere. I had no intention to do this, but I did. I drove to work one morning, promptly forgot, and then took the bus home, leaving my car in the parking lot. I did this with my bike and didn't realize for over a week. Not me, but my husband called me from work because he forgot to put a shirt on before leaving, and could I bring him one, please? There he was, just wearing a jacket. Evidently he tossed it on to go start the car in the cold and never took it off. Had to stop a boyfriend once from leaving without pants on. He had put boots, jacket, hat and gloves on. Drove towards my job when my friend asked me to hang out. I've done similar. Had a week or two straight where it was pretty much wake up, go to work, go to bed, repeat. Finally finish the project and have some time off. Wife wants to try a new restaurant for lunch and finally spend time with me, so we pile the kids in the car and go. It just so happens that the first leg of the trip to the restaurant was exactly the same as my commute, so I just went into autopilot. I didn't realize until I was halfway to work and my wife asked where exactly the hell were we going. Recently I was trying to microwave some popcorn, and instead of putting the popcorn packet in the microwave I put in the plastic wrap and proceeded to press start. I did not realize what I had done wrong until I looked down at the popcorn packet and thought something's not right here. 2 and 2 got put together before anything nasty or disastrous happened, thankfully. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to put the milk away in the oven and only stopped when I couldn't find the milk shelf. I had made a tea with ginger chunks, but found the ginger to be too strong, and I wanted them to go, so I grabbed a strainer and proceeded to pour out my tea in the sink with the ginger chunks in the strainer. Took me a second to realize what I've done. I one time spent hours making homemade chicken broth, only to put it through the strainer straight into the sink. I cried after. Shaved off an eyebrow. Was shaving my chin etc and my eyebrow got itchy, so I scratched it with the razor. I did the same dumbest mistake, except on my nose. I cut myself, but luckily it wasn't deep. Just made me feel stupid. Just recently I was talking to my friend and got on a topic about something that I had been looking up on my phone. Started to search for my phone so I could send him the link. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was talking to him while walking from room to room, looking everywhere, checking my pants pockets, looking in the weird random places I've left it before. Eventually I told him I'd send it to him when I found my phone. He reminded me that I was talking to him on my phone. Same thing happened to me. Dude, I can't find my phone. Do you remember if I had it in the car? What are you calling me on? Okay, thanks. Oh man, my wife forgot her phone at home. Me texts wife, you forgot your phone. Fun, harmless prank. Call your friends and ask them what their phone number is. Lol. I was texting my aunt earlier this week. After a while she asked if I was available to talk. I said yes. She sent a text with her phone number. The number one was texting. Started a new job, got to my old workplace before I realized what I'd done. Not exactly the same, but sometimes if I'm off on a day I usually work and I go to hang with friend or do errands, I find myself taking the same route to get to work. Came home with a friend. Started undressing as soon as I closed the door. I've done something similar. I went to take a leak and, just like I would, when I'm alone didn't bother to close the door. I'm standing there still talking to them and then realize wait I'm not alone. I got up and took my 3 nighttime meds, 2 sleeping pills and a rather sedating neuromed instead of my morning meds. I had an instant where I thought maybe I could go to work. But then wisdom prevailed and I called in sick. I did the opposite. Morning meds at night. I was fucking wired so when my alarm went off, I went to work like an idiot. Early morning on my way to work. Turned into my high school and parked in the student parking lot and started to get out of the car. I was 32. How many times did you repeat? This post could actually make a lot of sense. Plot twist, has a teacher. I'm 32 as well, and I still fuck up and use my high school locker combination on my work locker. Then I wonder why it won't open. Yet ask me the combination offhand, I have no idea what it is. Muscle memory at its finest. Used my phone flashlight to find my phone. I've done it too. Felt like a fucking moron. Well, at least I'm not the only one. I've also told my friend to call my phone since I couldn't find it, and he replied with how are we talking then dumbus. On another note, my other friend actually hung up and called me back saying, did you find it? Me, yeah, it was in my hand the whole time and we both just went ooh. I use nail polish remover instead of mouthwash after brushing my teeth. It was awful. Used nail polish remover as a makeup remover for my eyes once. Never again. Jesus Christ, your eyes would never forgive you if you went blind. Scanned a customer's groceries, removed the dividing bar from my register, began scanning the next customer's groceries. I once spent too long trying to find the barcode on the dividing bar while scanning. Customer let me figure it out on my own. My nephew has one of those big iPads and takes notes with a stylus. If you tap the stylus, it undoes the last writing. Now when he makes a mistake in pencil, he taps the pencil. After working with art programs for a while, I sometimes attempt CTRL-Z while drawing traditionally. When I was a truck driver, I drove 200 miles down the wrong freeway and had to turn around and drive 200 miles back. I never told my dispatcher and he never caught it. I did that once. Unfortunately, I had to tell my dispatcher of my mistake as it threw off the rest of my loads for that day and made it impossible to do them, and the one I had was going to be late. Then a couple weeks later I missed the backhaul message and it rated back empty. I felt like an idiot and he treated me like on for a bit too. You guys ever drink from a straw, then zone out and tilt it like you're drinking straight from the cup and put whatever you're drinking all over yourself? My toddler does this a lot. When I arrived for my exams, I unzipped my coat to see that I still have my night clothes on. Edit, if it adds to the explanation, I didn't get enough sleep before the day of the exam, and I was fasting. Edit again, fasting was mentioned to avoid suggestions of staying awake for the morning. It just created more questions instead. P. My high school math teacher told us about how, when she was taking her exams, she had gotten up late one morning and changed quick and ran out so she didn't miss the bus. Once at the school, she unzipped her winter coat and realized she forgot to put on a shirt and only had a bra on. Had to write the exam with a big ass winter coat on. Tried to zoom in while reading a book or just tabbing on the page to keep it from locking. OMG, I do this on physical photos all the time. Couple times a year I'll say love you to a business colleague when ending a phone call. My wife gets a kick out of that. I work front desk at a hotel. The daytime staff work either 7 AM to 3 PM or 3 PM to 11 PM. Sometimes when I'm working the PM shift I'll accidentally say night night instead of goodbye when I go to hang up the phone. It's an uncomfortably intimate thing to accidentally say to a stranger on the phone. It's even worse if I know the guest was in a different time zone, so it's not even nighttime where they are. After a fight with a family member, I was so angry that I walked away blindly and missed the large doorway, ramming full speed into the wall. Luckily they found it so funny that it diffused the argument. Remember to leave a like and subscribe.